Following the Supreme Court's ruling on the Hobby Lobby case, I'm still a little confused about a few things, so I'm gonna just toss some questions out there and maybe you can help me answer them. Do Hobby Lobby's owners realize that birth control pills can be used for reasons other than birth control? Like some women use them to help decrease menstrual cramps. Do they not know about that, or do they just not care? Why does Hobby Lobby's retirement plan have $73 million invested in funds that include companies that make contraception? Why do Hobby Lobby's owners think it's perfectly fine to cover Viagra? I mean, I know it's not an abortion pill by any means, but we know what the purpose of it is, and why are they okay with funding that? Do Hobby Lobby's owners understand that the morning after pill that they say causes abortions doesn't actually do that? It prevents implantation, and that's not the same thing. Since corporations are people, if Hobby Lobby ever puts another company out of business, can we accuse it of murder? Can Hobby Lobby's owners now decide that they don't want to cover any forms of contraception? I mean, they specifically didn't want to cover 4 things, including IUDs and morning after pills. But what if they suddenly change their mind and decide they don't want to pay for condoms either? What if a closely held business is owned by a Christian and a Muslim and a Scientologist? Do only one of their religions count when it goes for the company, or do they somehow mix all 3 of them and the employees are totally screwed? Would the Supreme Court have ruled the same way if we were talking about non-Christian business owners? Is it just a coincidence that all 5 of the justices who ruled in favor of Hobby Lobby happen to be Roman Catholic? When will Monster.com start letting you sort through companies by their faith? Is Hobby Lobby going to stop selling hangers? At what point during a job interview should you ask about the owner's faith? It's strange, really, because normally in an interview, whoever's interviewing you can't ask you what religion you are. But now it seems kind of important to be able to ask about the owner's religion. So when should you do that? Like up front in the interview, later in the interview, as you're shaking hands before you leave? When should business owners tell prospective employees about the restrictions on their insurance? Is it going to be like written in fine print in the job application, or do you have to wait till you get the job before you find out about this stuff? What if a company's owner decides to change religions at some point? Does the company's religion also change along with that? And at what point do your insurance restrictions change? If a company is owned by a Jehovah's Witness, can they now restrict blood transfusions? If a company is owned by a Hindu, can he or she restrict pills that are covered by gelatin? If a company is owned by a Scientologist, can the owners restrict any antidepressants? Can a Christian business owner now refuse to pay property taxes because they don't want evolution taught in the public schools nearby? Where is the line drawn between a fair religious objection and an unfair religious objection? Even Justice Ginsburg said in her dissent that it wasn't much help for lower courts bound by the Supreme Court's decision. How can I boycott Hobby Lobby if I never shop there in the first place? My name is Hemant Mehta, and I write at friendlyatheist.com. Please leave a comment below, and we will be sure to check it out.